Let's go now to Will Hollis, who is with Ben Habib, the third-place Reform UK candidate in Wellingborough.
Yes, well, we've been seeing the reaction to Jen Kitchen, 13,000 votes. You can see here in Kettering, where they've been doing the count, that a lot of people are starting to go home now. They pack these things down incredibly quickly, months of planning, and then it all seems to disappear, as well as all of the people that you're trying to speak to. We've also heard from Toby Perkins, Labour MP for Chesterfield, and he says that what's happened tonight shows that Labour can also win in general elections. We know that by-election wins don't always translate to general election wins. We've been speaking to Jen Kitchen just a few moments ago, and she was describing how excited she is. Of course, she's very tired as well. But now we can speak to Ben Habib, who is from the Reform Party. Ben, you got just shy of 4,000 votes. Is that as many as you would have liked or even expected here?
Well, what I would have liked is to win. By the way, I'm not tired at all. I'm top of the pops, as I said. We've done really well. You know, look at Reform. Reform is an insurgency. It's a new business, isn't it? We started 3 years ago. 3 months ago, we did 5% in Tamworth, slightly less than that in Mid-Bedfordshire. Today, we've done 10% in Kingswood, where people were saying we're going to lose our deposit. We've done 13% here, which is more than our national polling. This is a staging post in the growth of Reform UK's recognition, in the growth of people's understanding of what we stand for. And in case anyone on GBNews doesn't know what we stand for genuine small c conservative policies, cutting taxes on the working and middle classes, cutting taxes on businesses, making sure that we don't undercut British workers with cheap imported labour, reducing immigration dramatically, stopping the boats, getting rid of the economically emasculating net zero, which is driving our economy into the ground. You don't save the planet by killing the economy. These are sensible, common-sense policies which cut through in Wellingborough in a 4-week period. And think what's going to happen in the general election. I'm going to stand here again. I'm going to take the fight again to the other parties, and we're going to do much better in the general election.
But is this achievable in a year span that we'll see the general election? Is this something that's achievable in the next 10 years? You say that you want to be a party in power, but isn't it really just a party to split the Conservative vote right now?
Not at all. I'm not in politics to split the Conservative vote. When I joined Reform UK, I did it to obliterate the Tory Party. Well, they've kind of beaten me to it. What we are is a genuine democratic choice for the British people. I believe, and I think people understand and accept and also believe, that the country, as the way it's being governed at the moment, is facing an existential threat. You can't have open borders. You can't have debt going through the roof like we've had, post-World War II, high in debt, taxation, GDP shrinking, 6 million people, surviving on universal credit. This is a broken economy. We need a rapid change of direction. Only Reform UK offers that change of direction. We need to get bums on green seats so we can change the way this country is governed.
We saw in 2019 a lot of traditional Labour voters going to the Conservatives. Some people might say that those voters are now going to go towards Reform, but how is it likely that they won't just go straight back to Labour in the general election, and then there'll be nothing left for Reform, or there'll be nothing left for the Conservatives?
Well, anyone who's thinking of voting Labour really isn't ever going to vote for Reform. We are diametrically opposed to just about everything they stand for. So I'm not worried about people who wish to get Labour policies. Anyone, by the way, who wants to put Labour into office needs their head examined, frankly. But we offer a genuine small c conservative, proud Britain, deregulated, low taxation alternative for governance. And I think the British people recognise that's what we need. You've got to grow the economy. You've got to grow the economy. You can't put wealth redistribution at the heart of your policies, which is what the Conservatives have done. We need wealth creation. You can't create this dependency that they've done in the electorate without damaging the economy. We need aspiration. You get aspiration back into the human spirit by making it worthwhile to work. And you can only do that if you cut taxes. It's simple.
A great message. It's very likely, though, that in the general election it will be Labour that are back in power. It also looks very likely that we're going to be kicked out of Kettering's Leisure Centre. Your final word, how do you end this night? With a smile on your face?
Absolutely. Why would I not smile? Think about the trajectory we're on. 5% 3 months ago, 13% tonight. Extrapolate that, we'll be at 100% by the time we get to the general election.
Perfect. Ben Habib, thanks for waiting around to speak to us for GB News. Pretty much the last ones here. We're going to be leaving Kettering shortly with a lot of people with smiles on their face, even if they might not have won the seat here in Wellingborough, with ambitions to come back to here and maybe fight even harder.
Will Hollis, you've been an absolute trooper. Thank you so much for sticking around and getting those interviews. Really appreciate it. Really good to hear. And my goodness, what a prediction from Ben Habib. 100%. That's the sort of opinion poll rating Kim Jong-un could only dream of.